What is up, and welcome back to the Thriving Stylist podcast. I'm your host, Britt Seva, and this week I thought we would talk about affiliate links for retail sales. This is a topic that I believe has gotten like a little bit of a nod on the Thriving Stylist podcast in the past. It's something I've strayed away from a little bit because I am passionate about retail sales, some people might say, and my stance on retail, I'm going to say it's shifted. It hasn't changed. I personally, let me just start at the top by saying, I still believe it's important to carry product in a hair salon, period. When I look at, again, I whenever I'm coaching to the industry, I study consumer behavior. I don't look at like what is trendy or what is fun or what somebody has to offer. I look at what consumers are doing. And when your consumers are your clients. And when I follow their patterns and behaviors and what makes them buy, like make a purchase, like choose to invest in a new shampoo, having a physical product in their hand, taking something home at the time of visit is a really critical piece of that still. Like the FOMO, that I need it and I need it now. When you look at sales psychology and what is making consumers move, all of that is still pretty relevant. Now, in time, do I think there's a world where all hair salon retail shifts online? Absolutely. I mean, I think that as a people, more and more of us are shopping more and more online all the time. But I don't want to jump the market and pull all retail out of salons just yet. It's just not for me. I know some people have done it and done it successfully. That's great. I just think, for every dollar you make, what if you're leaving $3 on the table because you're not considering other options? But that's just me. So all that being said, up until this point, if you go back and listen to any Thriving Stylist podcast on retail, if you've taken my course, Retail Therapy, I have not really coached to online retail sales at all until today. And this is going to be more of like an investigative journalism piece again, where I'm just kind of sharing information. I don't necessarily have really strong views on if you should do this, if you shouldn't do it. But I thought, let's have the conversation. And this conversation starts where some of the best do. And it's from this podcast. Somebody named Stephanie left me a rating or review on iTunes. And if you don't know, now you know. That's where I get over half of the inspiration for these episodes. And so I want to share with you Stephanie's message, and then we'll dig in. Stephanie says, "You're an amazing educator and host, and I'm so thankful you put these business snippets out there for us to learn from." Stephanie, thank you so much. That's very kind of you. Then says, "I would love to get your thoughts on the Amazon affiliate program as a way to earn commission on products. I know you say retail isn't dead, which it's not. Our physical retail products in the beauty industry are at an all-time high, so no, it's not dead. And while I believe that is true, things have definitely changed. With many top brands now being in big retail stores and distributors, is it best to follow suit and still earn commissions if you can? I'm an independent stylist at a booth rental salon, but it is something I need permission from my salon to do, as it would take away from selling in the salon." So much to unpack here. So I want to start by debunking the myth that Sephora and Ulta and Amazon are stealing your retail sales. No, you want to know the truth? You were never that good at selling it before, and you're still not good. And so for your clients, if you're not good at it, then they're just going to wander the aisles of Ulta and figure it out themselves. Trust me when I say they would much prefer you advise them. They would much prefer you say, "Hey, Erica, you've been talking about seasonal dryness forever. You probably noticed seasonal dryness in your skin. Did you know that your hair gets seasonal dryness as well? I know, shocking. Here's the 3-part system that would really work for you." But the problem is most of us aren't having those conversations with our clients. We're just trying to get through the day. We're thinking about what's coming up for lunch. There's just too much going on. The client is just chatting away and you can't get a word in edgewise. There's all these barriers to having really powerful, non-salesy educational retail sales. And so what happens is because we're not having the conversation, clients are just, like I said, wandering the aisles, these other places, or going on Amazon, making guesses. How do I know this? Because I have friends who are not Thriving Stylist podcast friends, don't care what I do professionally, and tell me about their shampoo buying woes. Or recently, I had a friend show up to a children's sporting event. Both my kids are athletes, so I'm often at a children's sporting event. And I was at one of these fellas, and her hair was greasy as all get out, and we're good friends. So I was able to say oh no, what has happened here? And she was like, oh, it's just like this new way of doing like dry shampoo and you like set it. And she was like trying to explain to me some kind of very convoluted idea. And I was like, where in the world did you get this idea? And she had seen some kind of social media video and just bought the thing and was like hoping it panned out. Y'all, your clients, like human beings, are making these like terrible choices. Do you know how she got to that place of desperation? Because her stylist is not talking to her about hair. And so that's when I told her, I was like, girl, you don't know this, but I used to do hair. Let me help you. Like, let me help you pick something. Because people are just walking around so uneducated. I'll talk about myself, for example. I am not very good at doing makeup. It's just not my thing. I've never been that into it, but I do wear makeup and I need to look nice for like work events and stuff like that. And so I'm the lady who's wandering Sephora, too embarrassed to ask for help, with 75 foundation shades from 19 different lines, covering my arms, like I'm starting to paint it on my legs, like it's everywhere because I've covered my skin in foundation checks, and I don't even know what I'm looking for. Like, have you ever been that consumer? That's how your clients are feeling when they buy 9 different dry shampoos and can't figure out why none of them are working. Don't put your clients in that position. They actually would rather buy from you. You're just not feeling comfortable having the conversation. Okay, I'm getting off my soapbox about retail. Now that we've set that as the foundation, let's talk about the online purchasing and or affiliate options that exist. I'm going to talk about, I think, 2 I've planned for you today. Yes, 2. So I'm going to first start with Amazon because this was what Stephanie's question was about. Now, I will say, the last time I researched Amazon affiliate links, it was, for me, a bold-faced no. I was like, no, the margins don't make sense. The program doesn't make sense. The product lines that are on there don't make sense. But this was a couple of years ago. Flash forward to now, and a lot of professional hair care brands have partnered with Amazon. So there is a category on Amazon called Premium Beauty or Premier Beauty. It's like /, so one or the other. And if you sign up for an Amazon affiliate account and through your affiliate link, somebody purchases, I'm going to list off some brands for you, but purchases a hair care product through one of these brands, a Premium Beauty or Premier Beauty brand, you get a 10% commission on that sale. That's not bad. You're not stocking inventory. 10% is about right. So when I looked at what the brands were, I'm going to name a few. This is not even 10%. I just pulled a selection I looked through really quickly. They have Amika, AG Hair, Alterna, Diva Curl, K18, Kenra, Malibu C, Olaplex, Orbe, Redken, R&Co, and like literally hundreds more in this premier or premium beauty category. Listen, it wasn't a bad deal. The problem for me with that is, I have an Amazon affiliate code. I don't use it very often. If you've like been following me for a long time, you're like, she does. She never suggests stuff. Yeah, I don't really suggest very much with it, but I have one, so I know how it works. And you share the Amazon affiliate link. And if somebody buys after clicking that link, yes, you can earn a commission. Here's my challenge with this system and what makes me nervous. Let's say I'm your client and I'm in your chair, and you convince me to buy a shampoo and conditioner set from Kenra, whatever. Great. So I'm there in your chair. I order the product. I'm so excited. It shows up. That was great for that one time. But then the next time, I'm just going to go to Amazon.com and look up whatever shampoo and conditioner we talked about, add it to my cart, and now you've lost commissions for life. Like it was like a one-off, right? You convinced me, you sent me the link. Am I, as the consumer, going to go back and track down that link every single time? And I already hear some of you through this podcast are saying things like, well, my clients really love me. They would do it. That is called delusion. No, they will not. I know your clients love you. I'm not here to argue against that. What I'm saying is think about yourself. Think about yourself. Remember when a friend of yours sent you a link to your sister sent you a link to that gift that your nephew would like to have several months back and was like, here, when the holidays come up, he wants this thing. And you're like, okay, great. But then life went on and you didn't buy it yet. So now when you want to go buy the gift, you got to go to your text, go search, link history, and you're like going back and down. Now you do it because you love your nephew and you want to buy him the best thing and it's worth it. When it's a bottle of shampoo and conditioner that you already know the name, why would you jump through all those hoops? You wouldn't. The average client is not going to do that. Sure, 20% will, 80% won't. So for 80%, the system kind of falls apart. So if you wanted to use Amazon affiliate links, you have to be actively having retail conversations with your clients every time they come in to see you. Like, it doesn't mean you get to talk about retail less, you have to talk about more, because you want to prevent them from jumping the gun and ordering from their own Amazon account, not on your link. So now you're like, hey, I'm so glad you're here again. How did that shampoo and conditioner work out for you? Worked out great. Awesome. Let's get your next order coming in. Or you're convincing them to buy a subscription on Amazon, right? Because that's a choice too. But again, having affiliate links and things like that doesn't mean you're selling less. It means you're selling more. So just know you have to get very comfortable with those retail sales conversations, because the sell could slip pretty easily. So let's talk about Salon Interactive. And let me just interrupt right now and say, neither Amazon Affiliate or Salon Interactive are promoting or sponsoring this episode in any kind of way. I've not talked to anyone from Salon Interactive. We have no mutual relationship or whatever. When Stephanie asked the question, they're a huge name in the beauty industry as it relates to online retail sales. And I don't think it's fair to just leave them out of the conversation. So this is like my unbiased, researched information. Most of this information I pulled directly from their website. And I just kind of want to share what I learned. And that's the place I'm coming from. Now, before I dig into that, I do want to give a huge shout out to our podcast sponsor, Vagaro. Vagaro is a business management system for stylists and salon owners. If you're going to be selling retail, whether through affiliate links or in person in the salon, you need a way to track those sales. How about this? How many of you are selling retail but not tracking your retail sales tax? Oh no! Or you're doing these online retail sales strategies, but you're not making notes in a client's file of what they're buying, when they're buying it, when they need to restock. A system like Vagaro can help you to do that. It is an absolutely incredible business management tool. It gets my stamp of approval and has for years. To learn more, head to www.vagaro.com/pro. So when we look at Salon Interactive and what they bring to the table, they work with 20 different distributors and 400 hair care products. It's a pretty huge inventory. The brand was created by stylist, salon owner, and tech entrepreneur Jim Bauer to provide salon clients, their salons, salon distributors, and salons brands with an e-commerce solution that respects and protects the integrity of professional salon products and, equally importantly, the client-stylist relationship. Now, I can get behind a vision and mission statement like that. I love it. So, from the research that I found, there's two different plans. You can sign up with Salon Interactive as a seller, right? Your client would be the buyer, you'd be the seller, for no monthly fee, and you get about 25% commissions on the products that you sell. That's a pretty significant commission split. Or you could pay $20 a month and bump that commission split up to 30% commissions. Whoa, that's significant. So if you're planning to actually sell retail and have these conversations, that's a pretty sweet deal. I mean, getting a 30% commission split on a retail sale is fairly unheard of. So I think that's a pretty incredible opportunity. Couple of questions that I think are worth tackling that were shared on their website. First one, how is diversion controlled? You know, we're all very worried about diversion, and so I think it was great that they tackled this. All products are sold on the platform at MSRP, which is manufacturer suggested retail price. So if anybody were to go there, you know how if you buy a bottle of, Redken shampoo, you maybe pay like $12 or $13 for it at the beauty supply, but then you sell it for like $23, $24, $25. They're selling their products at the $23, $24, $25. So it doesn't make sense for anyone to buy at scale for diversion because there would be no profit margin in it. Next question, how and when do I get paid? Monies are deposited into your account every Friday for sales up through that Tuesday. So there's, a 72-hour kind of cutoff delay. You can make sales Wednesday through Tuesday, and then it hits the cutoff, and then that Friday you'll make the commissions for that sale churn cycle, or sale turn cycle, I should say. This I thought was interesting. What happens to my commissions if there is a return? If you've ever tried to do retail and salon and dealt with returns, you know that this is a thing. Commissions are paid based on completed transactions. And since returns are not a complete transaction, unfortunately, commissions are not applicable. Any commissions already paid on returned orders will be recovered from commissions owed to you for your current or future sales. So if somebody returns a product, you lose your commission. That's not crazy. To me, that seems normal, because if you were to have a client return a product, usually what we would try and do is negotiate an exchange instead of a return. But even so, we're losing cost on inventory. So the loss is the loss. I feel like that's just a cost you pay when you're doing physical goods business. And then lastly, how do your subscriptions work? When your client is signed in and chooses a product, they'll see the option to purchase that product one time or as a subscription in 2-week to 6-month intervals. Your clients can edit their subscription at any time through their profile. I think that's great. I think the service is really great. So I want to talk about how I would use that and or Amazon. And I also want to talk about selling product in the salon. Like I've said 100 times, and I'll continue to say 100 times, I think selling in the salon is critical. The reason why most salon retail programs are not profitable is that most salon owners and stylists don't know what they're doing. Admittedly or not admittedly, they don't know what they're doing. A keystone markup is not profitable. I'll say it one more time. A keystone markup is not profitable. Let me explain what keystone is. Keystone is you buy a bottle of shampoo for $10 and you sell it for $20. 100% markup. No, you're operating at a loss. Let me explain the math on that. If I buy a $10 bottle of shampoo and sell it for $20, in your mind, you're like, okay, well, you invested $10, but you sold for $20, so you made $10. No, you didn't, because you now need to take that $10, go back to the beauty supply store and buy another bottle of shampoo to restock your retail shelf. And now you're back at zero. And so if you're going to actually sell, and then like, let's not even talk about all the products you have sitting on your shelf that are collecting dust that are expired because you don't like all of them and you don't sell all of them, right? That's a whole nother problem. But when you are using a keystone or 100% markup, there is no margin in that. So when I coach to retail sales, I coach to at least a 120% margin so that you can be making money off of it. So you'd buy a product for 14, sell it for 31. You would end up making a 10% profit on that product, which is not bad. The other thing is I coach to really smart retail stocking so that you're not overstocked. You're not sitting on products that don't make sense. I don't do the one-for-one retail stocking technique. So if I sell a bottle of shampoo, I don't necessarily restock it at all. So strategically knowing how to manage your inventory is really critical as well. All this being said, if I was going to partner with any kind of online affiliate-based retail sales company, what I would do is sign up with the program and still stock not a huge amount, but a decent amount of product in the salon. And as I'm having these powerful retail sales conversations, I'm saying, okay, Shelby, this is the hair care, regimen that we've agreed upon. I'm going to bag this up for you today. This is yours to take home today. Moving forward, I want to get you set up with an auto ship program and then sell them on the affiliate thing forward. But I think that it is such a critical piece of the sales experience to have something in their hand right now. Have you ever bought something on delay or got something on delay? I can remember a friend of mine was given a golden retriever puppy for Christmas, but the puppy wasn't ready yet. So on Christmas morning, her parents somehow, spilled the beans and let them know that the Christmas gift was coming. And they went that same day. They got to go meet the puppy. I'm sure absolutely fell in love. And then they came back home and had to wait like several weeks for the puppy to come home. Those parents, bless my friend's parents. They must be the most patient parents in the world. They were tortured for weeks waiting for that puppy to show up. And I know this is a very extreme example, like a child waiting for a puppy and an adult woman waiting for her bottle of hairspray should not be the same comparison. But when you look at sales psychology and sales mindset, people do get annoyed. Like, okay, I'm going to order this and I have to wait 5 days for it to come. Like, it's annoying. If I'm excited about it, I want it and I want it now. This is why companies like Instacart exist. I want a loaf of bread and I want it in an hour. This is why if something doesn't ship Amazon Prime, we're not buying it. Like, we have just become a very impatient people. And so the idea of retail showing up on autopilot long-term is great. But I think in the short term, you could end up losing out on sales. So for me, I like more of a hybrid approach. If you're going to consider this, I think that's going to be your best bet. Y'all, and especially to Stephanie, thank you for asking such a beautiful, brilliant, and innovative question. I very much appreciate you. I would love it if you left a rating or review on iTunes. You can also share this on the gram, tag me in, keep the conversation going. And as I always like to say, so much love, happy business building, and I'll see you on the next one.